we kind of put our trust in and turn to represent us as the players. And, I have open dialect with them. I can't say I've been on every single CBA call that's been open to the players. It just conflicts with everybody's schedule. That's impossible when there's 144 players. You can't line up a call that is going to work for every single person. So you have to be very intentional. And if you have questions, you can reach out to those people. And there's certainly been people that I've reached out to and had communication with. So I think you just rely on that and rely on the people that are in those positions that you trust them, and they're going to do the best representing the entire group.
In the highly volatile billion-dollar world of corporate public relations, there is a legendary survival tactic utilized exclusively by the most elite chief executive officers on the planet. It is called plausible deniability. When a massive corporation is actively burning to the ground, when the executive board is tearing itself apart, and when a catastrophic public relations disaster is completely unavoidable, the smartest person in the room does not grab a fire extinguisher. The smartest person in the room quietly exits the building, stands safely across the street, and politely tells the media that they were completely unaware of the fire. For the past 17 months, the WNBA Players Association has been operating like a runaway freight train covered in gasoline. The veteran leadership has completely botched the collective bargaining negotiations. The vice presidents are leaking mutinous letters to the press, the sports agents are executing hostile takeovers, the entire league is currently staring down the barrel of a permanent catastrophic lockout on March 10th. The noise, the toxicity, and the sheer desperation emanating from the union is absolutely deafening. But amidst this absolute corporate slaughterhouse, the single most valuable human asset in the history of the sport just stepped up to a microphone in Miami. Caitlyn Clark just delivered an absolute masterclass in corporate evasion. She did not defend the union. She did not attack the billionaire owners. She executed a flawless, surgical extraction of her own brand from the radioactive wreckage of the WNBA labor dispute. Welcome to the breakdown. Get your popcorn ready. We are about to expose the brilliant psychological warfare of Caitlyn Clark's media availability. We are going to dissect the absolute genius of her strategic detachment. We are going to reveal the terrifying physical reprogramming she executed in the shadows. And we are going to show you exactly how she is actively preparing to completely conquer the global marketplace while the veteran players fight over scraps. To truly grasp the sheer, cold-blooded brilliance of what Caitlyn Clark just accomplished, you have to analyze her exact phrasing. You have to listen to how she deliberately constructs a completely impenetrable legal firewall between her own multi-million-dollar brand and the impending failure of the WNBA Players Association. The media desperately wanted her to endorse the strike. They wanted her to pledge absolute loyalty to the union executives. They wanted her to provide the ultimate soundbite that the veteran establishment could weaponize against the billionaire owners. But Caitlyn Clark is not a radicalized union foot soldier. She is a highly sophisticated, meticulously trained corporate entity. She knows that the union is being run by individuals who possess absolutely zero financial literacy. She knows that Terry Carmichael Jackson and Nike Agwumike have completely lost control of the narrative. So instead of adopting their toxic talking points, she simply smiled, shrugged her shoulders, and completely washed her hands of the entire liability. Listen closely to the absolute most brilliant, highly calculated public relations maneuver of the entire offseason. Listen to exactly how Caitlyn Clark completely insulates herself from the impending lockout.
Open dialect with them. I can't say I've been on every single CBA call that's been open to the players. It just conflicts with everybody's schedule. That's impossible when there's 144 players. You can't line up a call that is going to work.
I cannot say I have been on every single CBA call that has been open to the players. It just conflicts with everybody's schedule. That is impossible when there are 144 players. Stop the tape. That is pure, unadulterated corporate genius. Let us translate that statement from polite media jargon into ruthless boardroom reality. She is politely informing the national media that she has completely tuned out the union's daily circus. She is blaming scheduling conflicts. She is blaming the sheer volume of players. But the underlying message is crystal clear. She is not participating in their radicalized ideological crusade. By publicly stating that she is not on the calls, she is legally and optically removing her fingerprints from the murder weapon. If the union executes a massive, season-ending strike on March 10th, if they alienate millions of new fans, and if they completely destroy the $2.2 billion television contract, nobody can blame Caitlyn Clark. She literally just told the world she is not in the room. She shifted the entire burden of responsibility directly onto the shoulders of the team representatives and the executive committee. She is essentially saying, if you burn the house down, do not look at me, I was busy working, and working is exactly what she is doing. While the veteran players are spending their winter screaming on podcasts, fighting with anonymous accounts on social media, and desperately trying to spin a completely failed labor strategy, Caitlyn Clark has elevated herself to an entirely different dimension. She has completely bypassed the petty, localized drama of the WNBA ecosystem. She is no longer operating within the confines of a domestic dispute. She has officially crossed international waters. The WNBA is currently paralyzed by fear. The billionaire owners are holding the line. The union is fractured. The March 10th deadline is a ticking time bomb. But Caitlyn Clark is standing in a pristine, highly secured Team USA training camp, preparing for the FIBA World Cup qualifiers. She is utilizing the absolute greatest leverage play in the history of sports capitalism. Listen to the sheer excitement, the absolute undeniable pride radiating from her voice as she discusses her international debut. Listen to exactly why the global stage makes her completely untouchable.
Very, very small numbers. So getting to play in just this World Cup qualifier obviously is a huge honor within itself. And, I know getting to put on the jersey will be super special. And, these are the teams I watched growing up. My favorite players played on these teams. So everybody knows what an honor it is to wear USA.
Within itself. Everybody knows what an honor it is to wear USA across your chest. Boom. That is the sound of a global brand officially taking flight. The WNBA veteran players are absolutely terrified of a lockout because they have absolutely nowhere else to go. If the WNBA shuts its doors, the veteran players lose their platform. They lose their relevance. They lose their ability to generate corporate sponsorship revenue. But Caitlyn Clark is completely immune to the lockout. If the WNBA completely collapses, she simply puts on the red, white, and blue jersey. She steps onto the hardwood in Puerto Rico. She dominates international competition, and she remains the absolute epicenter of the global sports media cycle. The television networks know this. That is exactly why TNT Sports just aggressively purchased the exclusive broadcasting rights to the FIBA qualifiers. They completely abandoned the WNBA's unrivaled Winter League because it was a ratings disaster, and they funneled their millions directly into the Caitlyn Clark economy. She is building an international footprint. She is securing global corporate sponsorships. She is preparing to become the face of the Olympic team. She does not need the WNBA to approve a $50,000 salary cap increase. She is operating on a macroeconomic level that the veteran union leaders simply cannot comprehend. She is actively playing three-dimensional chess while the executive committee is struggling to understand how to play checkers. But the mental detachment is only half the equation. The true terror for the rest of the basketball world lies in what Caitlyn Clark has been physically doing during her 8-month absence from the public eye. When an elite, generational athlete suddenly disappears into the shadows for an extended period of time, they are not resting. They are not taking a vacation. They are executing a massive, highly disciplined biological upgrade. During her historic rookie season, Caitlyn Clark was physically battered. She was targeted. She was cheap-shotted. She endured a completely unprecedented level of physical hostility from the veteran establishment. She played through massive fatigue, nagging injuries, and the sheer exhaustion of a continuous, unbroken transition from the college national championship directly into the professional ranks. She was operating at a physical deficit, and she still managed to break every single record in the book. But the off-season provided her with the ultimate weapon: time. Time to heal, time to rebuild, time to completely reprogram her biomechanics. Listen to the incredibly ominous, deeply terrifying warning she just issued to the entire basketball ecosystem regarding her physical condition. Listen to exactly what she has been doing behind closed doors.
But more than anything, just really excited. I know how much work and how much time I've put in to make sure my body's as healthy as it can be, and to get back not only to a point where I feel like I'm myself, but I feel like I'm even better than, where I was at the beginning of last season. And I started off the season.
I know how much work and how much time I have put in to make sure my body is as healthy as it can be, and to get back not only to a point where I feel like I am myself, but I feel like I am even better than where I was at the beginning of last season. Checkmate. I feel like I am even better. Let that deeply terrifying sentence echo in the minds of every single opposing defensive coordinator. Caitlyn Clark was completely unguardable when she was exhausted, battered, and recovering from soft tissue injuries. She was dropping 30-foot three-pointers while playing on an empty gas tank. Now, she is declaring that she has mathematically upgraded her physical baseline. She spent 8 months in the laboratory. She rebuilt her core strength. She optimized her lower body stability. She refined her kinetic chain to ensure her release point is even faster and more unblockable. And she achieved this biological upgrade through a highly specific, incredibly demanding training regimen. While the WNBA union executives were actively encouraging their foundational assets to participate in the unrivaled league, a completely unregulated 3-on-3 tournament that ultimately destroyed Aaliyah Boston's lower extremity, Caitlyn Clark refused to take the bait. She completely avoided the gimmick leagues. She avoided the unnecessary injury risks. She controlled her environment with absolute, psychopathic discipline. Listen to the raw, unfiltered truth about exactly how Caitlyn Clark prepares for war. Listen to the specific environment she utilized to forge her newly upgraded physical state.
Obviously a ton of that, but there's, you need to just go out there and play pickup and play 5-on-5 with the guys or play threes, and just trying to get my lungs in the best shape I possibly can without really playing a competitive game.
You need to just go out there and play pickup and play 5-on-5 with the guys. Just trying to get my lungs in the best shape I possibly can without really playing a competitive game. Stop the tape right there. Playing 5-on-5 with the guys. This is the absolute ultimate competitive advantage. Caitlyn Clark did not spend her winter playing half-court basketball against fatigued WNBA veterans. She spent her winter in highly secluded, intense training environments, running full-court 5-on-5 scrimmages against elite male athletes. When you consistently train against a demographic that possesses a distinct biological advantage in explosive lateral speed, vertical leaping ability, and sheer physical mass, you are forced to completely rewire your neurological processing. Your decision-making must become instantaneous. Your ball handling must become flawless. Your spatial awareness must operate at a microscopic level, because if you hesitate for a fraction of a second, the ball is gone. By subjecting herself to this intense, highly pressurized shadow training camp, Caitlyn Clark has completely artificially slowed down the game of women's basketball in her own mind. When she eventually steps back onto a WNBA court, assuming the union does not completely burn the league to the ground, the opposing defenses are going to look like they are moving in slow motion. She has recalibrated her internal processor to a speed that the veteran players simply cannot match. The juxtaposition is absolutely staggering. The WNBA Players Association is currently a completely disorganized, highly toxic disaster zone. They are threatening to lock the doors. They are complaining about taxes. They are fighting with their own agents. They are actively demonstrating a complete lack of corporate maturity. They are trapped in a completely unwinnable battle against billionaire owners who hold every single mathematical advantage, but Caitlyn Clark has successfully achieved total corporate immunity. She evaded the union's political trap. She secured the global stage. She partnered with TNT Sports, and she completely upgraded her physical and mental capabilities in absolute silence. The veteran players thought they could use her economic gravity to extract a massive ransom from the billionaires. They completely forgot that you cannot control a phenomenon that refuses to participate in your game. The March 10th deadline is rapidly approaching. The billionaire owners are patiently waiting for the union to officially surrender. The television networks are waiting to broadcast the FIBA qualifiers, and Caitlyn Clark is standing in Miami, holding a basketball, entirely unbothered by the chaos. She proved that true power does not require a public relations statement. True power does not require a union authorization vote. True power simply requires you to be the absolute most valuable asset in the room, and to never ever let them see you sweat. What is your completely unvarnished, highly analytical take on this spectacular display of corporate evasion? Do you believe Caitlyn Clark is executing a brilliant public relations strategy by completely distancing herself from the WNBA union's toxic labor dispute? Do you agree that her international debut with Team USA gives her the ultimate leverage to completely ignore the impending March 10th lockout? And more importantly, do you believe her 8 months of shadow training against male athletes will make her completely unguardable when the professional season finally begins? Drop your completely unfiltered, brutal analysis in the comments section below. If you want the uncompromising truth about the real business, the real strategy, and the real cutthroat corporate politics of professional sports, hit that subscribe button, brutally smash the like button, and turn on the bell notification so you never miss a deep dive. We do not do mainstream media fluff on this channel. We expose the leverage, we investigate the shadow training camps, and we reveal the terrifying psychological warfare behind the press conferences. I will see you all in the next breakdown.